has all led us here to this great city of Baltimore.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Baltimore, Maryland, let's get ready to rumble!
Oh, we are!
If there's anybody that's a big star in Baltimore, it's you. In Baltimore, whether you like it or not, you better learn to live with it, because I'm the best there is.
This tonight as Championship Wrestling returns to Baltimore at the Baltimore Civic Center tonight.
And I have picked Baltimore out to be the place where this war is going to come to an end, because they got a lot of nice, fine hospitals there.
You know it, I know it, and Baltimore is.
It's the Night of Champions in Baltimore, Maryland in the Civic Center.
Hello wrestling fans, and welcome to Wrestle-Rama. Today we're going to take a trip down memory lane to Saturday, February the 11th, 1978, as we got championship wrestling at the Baltimore Civic Center. Before we get into the program, I want to remind everybody, if you love old school nostalgia like this, old school wrestling results, looking at old programs, newspaper clippings, old ticket stubs, check out our website, wrestlorama.com. We have tons of programs up on the site, old ticket stubs, newspaper clippings, match results, anything you can think of. Pretty much from, I think we got stuff going back to the 40s on the website. This is 1978. Again, that's wrestlorama.com. We also post results on our Facebook page, which you can find at facebook.com/wrestlorama. We upload and we put the results as a on this day in history type thing. So whatever the day of the results, so like this one for example, you could find on our Facebook. We'll have those results on February the 11th. Ticket stubs, newspaper clippings. We also post pictures, whether it be of programs, ticket stubs, of the arena, whatever it may be. We also post those pictures on our Instagram, which you can also find, instagram.com/wrestlorama. And if you're watching this on YouTube, youtube.com/wrestlorama. And also if you're on Twitter, go ahead, check us out on Twitter, twitter.com/wrestlorama. So all of our socials is at Wrestlorama, RASSLERAMA.com, Wrestlorama.com. Today, not only are we going to look at this actual program, this is the actual program from the Baltimore Civic Center, February the 11th, 1978. We also have the results for you. So as we open up the program, look at the lineup, we're going to give you the results. So let's take a look from top to bottom. Phil Zacco was the promoter. Sanctioned and supported by Maryland State Athletic Commission with approval of the Worldwide Wrestling Federation. Chairman D. Chester O'Sullivan. Willie Ginsburg, the president. Again, this is February the 11th, 1978. You see the main event. All-American Boy, rated #1, Backlund and Superstar ready to clash. At the time, Superstar Graham was the WWWF Heavyweight Champion. He would hold that title for 9 more days when Bob Backlund defeated him at Madison Square Garden. So this was a warm-up match, I guess you could say. 9 days away, Backlund would pin Superstar at MSG. Superstar did have his feet under the ropes, but the referee did not see it. Look at that. Watch wrestling each Saturday afternoon, 4 to 5 on 45 WBFF TV Baltimore. This was before it was a Fox affiliate. This was before there was a Fox affiliate. We had 5 channels back then. 2, 11, 13, 45, and you know what? I don't even think 54 was out yet. If you had a good TV, you could pick up some DC channels like Channel 5 and Channel 20, where you could also watch wrestling Saturday mornings at 11 on Channel 20. That's if you had a good TV. I did not. My family did not have a good TV. I had to get over my grandmother's to watch Channel 20. So here's a brief write-up on tonight's match. Give you a minute to take a look at that. And look at that. Before the day and age of ordering your tickets online, you had to go to the box office. Box office at the Civic Center is open daily from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So let's open it up. This is the actual program, not a reproduction. Other matches tonight. The Oriental Duo cling to tag team title. Gurria and Zbyszko aim to pry it loose. You couldn't call a wrestler a tag team, and you can't call anybody Oriental nowadays, that's for sure. So it talks about Toru Tanaka and Mr. Fuji are clinging on to the WWWF Tag Team title. And it looks like they're facing Gurria and Zbyszko tonight. This, of course, 1978. This would have been 2 years before Larry Zbyszko turned on Bruno Sammartino. Tonight at the Civic Center, there are challenging tag team champions, Professor Tanaka and Mr. Fuji. We got Johnny Rods. Baltimore fans, old school WWF fans should know who that is. Nikolai Volkov. Siberian Madman to face Special Delivery Jones. Rough and tough Johnny Rods sees action with Williams. Up close Johnny Rods. So let's read this about Nikolai. Nikolai is the kind of man you say yes sir to, no matter what the situation. He is also the kind of wrestler who shows no mercy to his opponents. Special Delivery Jones, who seems to improve with every match, may be just the man to teach this Siberian giant some manners. He is probably the most unpopular wrestler in Baltimore, but Johnny Rods is very dynamic and well-conditioned athlete. He returns to Charm City this month to meet Frankie Williams from the legendary Piper's Pit. Probably besides the Jimmy Snuka Coconut Piper's Pit, Frankie Williams is unquestionably the most famous Piper's Pit guest. Meet Frankie Williams. Rods, an excellent scientific grappler, prefers to break the rules rather than abide by them. Action. You'd better believe it. That's kind of weird. So let's go over here. Here's the lineup. We'll go over that match by match. Right here, the Golden Terror unleashed. Set to battle Steve Austin. I think that might be a typo. They say he hails from the deepest part of the Amazon jungle, and judging from his style of wrestling, the Golden Terror was probably trained by Wild Beast. Pete Austin, I'm guessing that's Pete Austin, not Steve Austin, a relatively newcomer to the game, is in for one very tough match. 20 superstars of wrestling, 2 world title matches. Check this out. Tickets by mail. Enjoy the same seats for every wrestling show. Simply Right Wrestling. Look at those ticket prices, man. Ticket prices are $3, $4, and $5. So this was back in the day when WWF came to the Civic Center every month. And then around 1984 is when Georgia Championship Wrestling started coming to the Civic Center. So we would get 2 shows a month. And, of course, Georgia Championship Wrestling became NWA. Well, that didn't become NWA, but then NWA started promoting shows here. Then we got a few NWA, AWA shows. And then, I'd say, after 86, it was NWA by itself. So every month for, I want to say, at least for the rest of the 80s, we got 2 shows a month. You would get WWF and NWA. That was pretty awesome. So You could see Hulk Hogan against Paul Orndorff, or you could see Ric Flair versus Dusty Rhodes, or go see both if you got the money. So here's a little ticket, a parking coupon, parking special, 75 cents with this ad. Farver, park under. That parking garage is still there. I don't think it's called Favor, but it's still there. So at the top, Baltimore Civic Center, Saturday, February the 11th, 1978. Wrestling program presented by Capital Wrestling Corp. And Phil Zacco, authorized by Worldwide Wrestling Federation, sanctioned and supervised by the Maryland State Athletic Commission. D. Chester O'Sullivan is the chairman. Let's start at the bottom. First match at 8:30. That's pretty late, man. So you figure, even if it was a 2.5 hour show, that's over at 11 o'clock. That's pretty late. So, according to the program, Johnny Rodz versus Frankie Williams, 1 fall, 20 minutes. And this match was won by Johnny Rodz. Joe Turco versus Jose Estrada. Jose Estrada won that match. Golden Terror versus Pete Austin. Golden Terror won that match. Butcher Vachon from Montreal versus Dennis Johnson. The Butcher won that match. Action Galore, 1 fall, 20 minutes. Nikolai Volkov from Siberia versus SD Special Delivery Jones. He was always one of my favorite. You can't say jobber. I mean, he got a little underneath, very underneath push every once in a while. He would, I think they even put him in a tag team with, they tried to make him a tag team. I remember he teamed with like Tony Garea in the 80s, and he had a good match. I think him and Kurt Hennig tag teamed a few times. And they would put on good matches, good competitive matches against guys like, I remember one match in particular, Buddy Rose and Ray Stevens. Who else did SD team with? I can't remember offhand. But yeah, SD Jones was one of the underrated enhancement guys. Spiros Arian defeated Chief J Strongbow. The tag team champions, Mr. Fuji and Toru Tanaka, defeated Tony Garea and Larry Zbyszko, and that was a 2 out of 3 falls match. And the main event of the evening, 1 fall to a finish, Superstar Graham versus Bob Backlund. Bob Backlund won the match via countout. So let me scan back, let you take a look at the program. Now let's go to the back page. So these were actually mailed to you. You could subscribe to these programs and they would be mailed to you. I'll look at the address and stuff in a minute. The Golden Greek returns, meaner than ever, no expense spared in bringing Arian back to USA. There's Aspiros. So there's a little write-up on the Golden Greek. Let you read that. And then let me scooch it around to the mailing portion. So this is how you would get it in the mail. It would come like that. It would come to you in the mail. Like that. That was the mailing address, the P.O. Box. Little snippets on tonight's show. Baltimore Civic Center. Let's see if we can zoom in. What does that say? Oh, so this was a forwarded address. So they sent it back to them and said, hey, you owe us 25 cents. But they eventually got the right. I can't quite make out the postmark. I can't quite see a date there. But, and here it is again in all of its glory. Well, I hope you enjoyed this brief look at the WWF coming to Baltimore, February 11th, 1978. Baltimore Civic Center, Backlund versus Superstar Graham. Again, check us out online, WrestleRama.com. Give us a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel. And until next time, take care and see ya.